we discover the gripping story of passion, guilt, and betrayal. A forbidden love, my friend's husband and the secrets we kept, emotional romance. When love crosses the boundaries of friendship, it leads to a secret affair that shakes the lives of everyone involved. Watch as emotions run high and relationships fall apart in this intense romantic drama. What happens when the truth is revealed? Find out in this suspense-filled tale of forbidden love and difficult choices. It was a crisp autumn evening in New York City when Emily Parker, a 29-year-old marketing executive, entered the luxurious penthouse party. The city skyline twinkled through the large glass windows, and the sounds of laughter and jazz music filled the air. Emily had always been the life of the party, with her infectious smile and natural charm. Yet tonight, she felt distracted. Across the room, standing near the bar, was Daniel Harper, a 40-year-old tech mogul known for his charisma and sharp intellect. His dark hair was graying at the temples, giving him a distinguished look. Emily knew him well, too well. They had shared stolen glances for months now, and the tension between them had reached unbearable levels. But there was a problem. Daniel was married, and his wife, Lauren, was one of Emily's closest friends. Emily's heart pounded as Daniel's eyes met hers across the room. He looked away quickly, but the message was clear. They needed to talk. Emily excused herself from a conversation and made her way to the balcony, where she could feel the cool night air on her skin, hoping it would calm her nerves. "Emily," a familiar voice called out softly behind her. She turned around and found Daniel standing there, his expression torn between desire and guilt. He closed the sliding door behind him, ensuring their conversation would be private. "We can't keep doing this," Emily whispered, though her body betrayed her words. She was drawn to him, the magnetic pull undeniable. "I know," Daniel said, stepping closer. "But I can't stop thinking about you. I've tried. I've tried to focus on Lauren, on my work, but I can't get you out of my mind." Emily's breath hitched. She knew this was wrong. Lauren was a good friend, and Daniel was married. But the attraction between them was impossible to ignore. They had shared secret conversations, lingering touches, and now, standing just inches apart on the balcony, the temptation was overwhelming. Before she could stop herself, Emily closed the gap between them, her lips brushing against Daniel's. The kiss was brief, but filled with unspoken desire. She pulled back, her heart racing, her mind spinning. "This can't happen," Emily whispered, her voice barely audible. Daniel reached out and gently cupped her face. "It already has," he said, his voice low and filled with longing. For the next few weeks, Emily tried to avoid Daniel, throwing herself into her work and avoiding social gatherings where she knew he would be. But fate had other plans. One evening, Emily received a text from Lauren, inviting her to dinner at their apartment. Emily hesitated but eventually agreed, knowing she couldn't avoid her friends forever. When she arrived, she was greeted by Lauren's warm smile, but her stomach churned when she saw Daniel standing behind her. Throughout the evening, Emily felt Daniel's gaze on her, even as he smiled and laughed with his wife. She excused herself to the bathroom to regain her composure. As she stood in front of the mirror, she heard a soft knock on the door. "Emily, it's me." Daniel's voice was low, almost pleading. She opened the door slightly, just enough for him to slip inside. "We can't keep doing this," Emily whispered, her heart racing. "I know," Daniel said, his voice filled with regret. "But I can't stop." Emily's eyes filled with tears. "What about Lauren? She's your wife. She trusts me. I can't betray her like this." Daniel's expression softened. "I care about Lauren, but what we have, it's different. It's passion, it's excitement. I've never felt this way before, not even with her." Emily shook her head, stepping back. "I can't do this, Daniel. I can't be the other woman." But despite her words, she felt the pull of him, the desire that clouded her judgment. The truth was, she wanted him just as much as he wanted her. Their affair continued in secret for months, with stolen moments and whispered confessions. Emily knew it couldn't last forever, but every time she tried to end it, Daniel would pull her back in. One night, as they lay together in a hotel room, Emily couldn't shake the feeling of guilt that had been building inside her. She sat up, pulling the sheets around her, and looked at Daniel. "We have to stop this," she said, her voice shaking. "It's going to destroy us." Daniel sat up beside her, running a hand through his hair. "I don't want to stop," he said, his voice filled with frustration. "I love you, Emily. I can't imagine my life without you." Emily's heart broke at his words. She loved him too, but she couldn't keep living this lie. "You have to make a choice," she whispered. "It's either me or Lauren." Daniel was silent for a long time, staring out the window at the city below. Finally, he turned to her, his expression resigned. "I can't leave her," he said softly. "She's my wife. I made a commitment to her." Emily's heart shattered. She had known this moment would come, but that didn't make it any easier. She stood up, quickly getting dressed. "I can't do this anymore," she said, her voice thick with emotion. "I won't be your secret." Without another word, she left the hotel room, her heart heavy with the weight of their affair. In the weeks that followed, Emily tried to move on with her life. She threw herself into her work, went on dates, and tried to forget about Daniel. But no matter what she did, he was always on her mind. One evening, as she was leaving the office, she saw Daniel waiting for her outside. Her heart skipped a beat at the sight of him, but she quickly reminded herself of the pain their affair had caused. "What are you doing here?" she asked, her voice cold. "I needed to see you," Daniel said, stepping closer. "I've been a mess without you, Emily. I can't sleep, I can't focus. I made a mistake. I should have chosen you." Emily's heart ached at his words, but she knew it was too late. "You chose Lauren," she said, her voice firm. "And now you have to live with that choice." Daniel's expression was filled with regret, but Emily stood her ground. She had spent too long living in the shadows, and she wasn't going to do it anymore. As Daniel walked away, Emily felt a sense of closure wash over her. She had loved him, but their love was never meant to be. It was time to move on and find someone who could give her the kind of love she deserved, out in the open, without secrets and without lies. Months passed, and Emily found herself slowly healing from the heartbreak of her affair with Daniel. She had learned a valuable lesson about love, trust, and the importance of being true to oneself. One evening, as she sat in a coffee shop reading a book, she met a man named Ryan. He was kind, funny, and genuine, the complete opposite of Daniel. As they got to know each other, Emily realized that real love didn't have to be complicated or filled with secrecy. It could be simple, honest, and pure. For the first time in a long time, Emily felt hopeful about the future. She had made mistakes, but she had also grown stronger because of them. And now, she was ready to open her heart again to someone who could love her the way she deserved to be loved. This story captures the complexity of forbidden love, the emotional turmoil of infidelity, and the process of healing and moving on. It combines romance and suspense while offering a message about self-respect and the importance of making difficult but necessary choices.